To all of you that are my subscribers, to any potential subscriber or just someone that might be a passerby here on this channel right now, as of this moment, I want to get very up close and personal with you concerning something that is very dear and passionate to me, and that is the future of our society. This is not a conspiracy theory. If you've watched me for a while, I think you know that I'm just someone who is compassionate about humanity and the conditions by which we are living, or in which we are living. This is indeed about a conspiracy, not a theory. These are facts that are no further than our own eyes. They're right in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bid you with peace right now as I start, and I'm going to tell all of you all that are watching this video that I love you and that I sincerely care about you, and that is why I put out these types of videos. Now, I'm not going to show you a whole lot of documentation. I'm not going to refer you to a whole lot of different videos and links and URLs and things like this. I'm not going to do that. Right now, I want you to think. Use your mind and think. Just simply think. I'm not the only person that you have ever heard talk about health on YouTube or the internet or anywhere else. I'm not the only one. But many of you have watched my videos about things that's in our food and our water supply and so forth. I just want to kind of scave the surface one more time as it relates to that subject matter and ask the question why. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in North America. The country that we live in is America. It is not the United States, because the United States is a company. It is a business. It is a for-profit corporation. Those things are in the domestic or the domain where we can all look them up. They are public knowledge. But most people are in a situation of cognitive dissonance where they don't want to hear anything like that, because they don't want to believe that we are in a rabbit hole, and we go further and further down in the rabbit hole, and we are walking around with blinders on and don't want to hear the actual truth. So here is for those that want to entertain, perhaps for this moment, the truth. Why is it that we live in America, a country that professes to be the greatest country on the planet, and we have such a disparage of justice as it relates to black people versus white people? In other words, ladies and gentlemen, why are black people in America treated as a slave still, as 3/5 of a human being still, as we did back in the 16 and the 1700s? Why? In the 1800s, why? Why are blacks still treated this way? I'm not talking about the few that are celebrities. By contrast, if you look at the amount of black celebrities, I mean in all forms of entertainment, music industry, rap industry, sports, entertainment, comedy, and so forth, television personalities, and that, if you look at that amount of people that are black in that industry in contrast to the majority of blacks, it is minuscule. It is a drop in the bucket. It is nothing at all. It's insignificant. I'm talking about the majority of black people in this country. Why are they still treated so poorly? Now, fast forward past the black issue. Why do we still have such a great degree of hunger and poverty in this country that's supposed to be the country of plenty? Why do we even need this significant amount of soup kitchens that we have today? Why do we still have these many Vietnam, not these many, but so many Vietnam veterans that are still in the streets that are homeless in America? Now let's go past that for a moment. Why is it that we have so much taxation in this country? Let's go past that. Now, why is it that we have the largest prison complex than any other nation on this earth? In America, we have the largest prison complex, industrial complex, privately owned. Now, this is perhaps one of the biggest things in the country that says that they care about its people. They care about we, the people. This is perhaps the biggest one here. Now pay close attention to me. For a country that's supposed to care about the people, why do we allow food manufacturers to put chemicals in the food that we eat that causes long-term diseases and conditions in the human body and ultimately will kill us? Why? They say that they have these organizations, the main organization being the Food and Drug Administration, but almost half of its operating budget comes from the pharmaceutical company. So it's in bed, the Food and Drug Administration or the FDA is in bed with the pharmaceutical company. So would they tell us the truth? But they're supposed to be protecting us, right? But when you go up virtually every aisle in the grocery store, you're going to find some packaging, some product, and you read the ingredients. It's going to have 20 or 30 ingredients that are all chemicals that are harmful to the human body. And many of these chemicals are used in the industries, the agriculture industries, as pesticides. Many of these chemicals that are used, they're used for refrigeration. Many of these chemicals they're used as flame retardant. They're used for so many other industrial purposes, and they're putting them in the very food that we consume. But they care about us. Are you thinking about it now? Now, you don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is go to the grocery store and start reading. See if you can even pronounce the words that's in the ingredients outside of water. The other thing, speaking of water, why is it that our water is so polluted that it's not even drinkable? Do we drink it? Of course we do. We shower in it. We bathe in it. We drink it. We use it to prepare meals. But our water is poison. You know, someone might say, I didn't die yet. Do you know what? You will over time. Do you think if you drank 8 ounces of arsenic, you'd die right now? Chances are you would. Do you think that if you drank 8 ounces of mercury right now, you would die? You would. Do you think that you can drink 8 ounces of chlorine, pure 100% chlorine, and you would be okay? You wouldn't. But when you're talking about billions of gallons of water, it's so many parts per billion that's in that water that it accumulates in your system over a period of time. I'm talking about pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. I'm talking about chemical runoffs from plants that's in our water We're talking about aluminum that's in the sky that's always being kicked out of these planes, these jetliners, if you will, through chemtrails that's being spread out with thousands of other chemicals in the air. And ultimately it lands on the farmland and it gets washed down through the creeks and the rivers and the lakes from the rain. And it goes into our municipal supply. And then they're putting chemicals into our municipal water to kill one thing and to stave off that chemical causing any adverse condition to us. Supposedly they add another or a different chemical. We have arsenic in our water. We have Roundup, which is a pesticide, in our water. It's already been scientifically proven. It's already been investigated. It's already been documented that these chemicals, along with thousands of other chemicals, are in our drinking water, ladies and gentlemen. Heavy metals are there. Aluminum is there. Cadmium is there. Iron is there. Mercury is there. Asbestos. Everything you can imagine is in our drinking water. It's there. So what you gonna do about it? But this country cares about us. Does it really? Do you get my point? Do you get my point? Why is it there? And if it is there, ladies and gentlemen, why are we still consuming it? At least stop consuming it. At least buy a filtration system. At least do something proactive to eliminate, if not minimize, the harm that is causing you and your family. Same thing is true with the foods. BPA in the plastic. BPA in the canned goods. Bisphenol A, if you didn't know what that was. That is a synthetic estrogen hormone that lines all of the canned goods. And when you have some produce, some food products in those cans that is very acidic, it breaks down immediately into the food, such as tomatoes, canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, sauerkraut. Anything that's in the can is very acidic. It's going to break that lining down, and guess what? We are consuming it. Is it good for us? You know it's not. This is just a blurb. That's all it is. It's just something to get you to think. But at the end of the day, when you're finished thinking, the real question is, what are you going to do about it? This is Brother Teacher. I'm pissed off. I really am. What are you going to do about it? If you're willing and ready to do something, let us know. Because I look forward to some dialogue before it's all too late.